Yesterday, President William Samoei Ruto met with over 120 MCAs from the Mount Kenya region, particularly from the Jubilee party, and in attendance was the Jubilee Secretary General and their party leader, Sabina Chege and Kanini Kega, respectively. What's cooking? Are these early campaigns? And if indeed he has already begun early campaigns, then his advisors are failing to remind him of one thing, that come 2027, the voters from the Mount Kenya region are not going to listen to the 120 MCAs for they to make a decision at the ballot, but they will rather vote him based on the merits in terms of development. And I honestly fail to understand how so fast these MCAs have forgotten that in the previous election, the BBI report was passed in 46 out of the 47 counties. But guess what? When it came to the ballot, everybody to whom was aligned to the former president Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga was kicked out. Why? Because they passed the BBI report just to please the regime of the day, of which the report itself was not citizen-oriented, but it was mainly beneficial for some few politicians. I saw President William Samoei Ruto with Honorable Sabina Chege, and I was really shocked, simply because Sabina Chege is a true face of Kenyan politicians to whom have no shame, have no integrity, do not obey political parties' ideologies, and neither do they have the interest of the citizens at heart.
Mwezi wa 8, mimi kama Sabina Chege nimekuja kuomba kwa heshima kubwa tutokee kwa wingi ili tuseme baba the nani atajali maslahi yetu sisi wote wa Kenya? Nani ataangalia uchumi wa Kenya? Nani atachunga wamama wa Kenya? Nani anaangalia elimu ya Kenya? Nani ataangalia mahospitali kuwa na dawa? Na hivyo kwa heshima na maana leo tumekuja kama wamama, na nataka kuomba vijana wetu tutulie, tuwe watulivu, ili kuna zote zikuwe ni kwa Raila
Sabina Chege aside, I've always been wondering why shouldn't President Ruto's advisors advise him to shun away from these rallies that he's consistently been attending, simply because from where he sits, I tend to feel that the more he keeps on attending to these rallies, the more he keeps on reducing his votes, because we are 2 years after an election, but we are still in a campaign mood purposely for the next general election. And with this, I honestly don't have to blame the politicians, simply because the politicians are a clear reflection of how our society is.
Wengine wasiwe na bima ya afya ambayo inaweza kulinda mambo yao ya usalama. Na ndio mimi nimeambia watu wa kotini, wacheni mchezo. Ama namna gani? Kwani kotini wanachaguliwa? Si nyinyi ndio mnachaguana? Ama namna gani? Si nyinyi wananchi ndio mnachaguana? Nimeambia watu wa kotini, tafadhali wacha kila mtu afanye kazi yake. Katiba ya Kenya inasema hawa watu wapate afya. Ile kura mlipiga, tulikuwa na manifesto ya kusema mpatiwe afya kupitia universal health coverage. Tumeenda bunge, tumepitia sheria 4 ya kusema mpatiwe afya. Alafu mtu mmoja ama wawili wanaenda kotini, ati wanaenda kusimamisha, ati hao watu waendelee kuhangaika. Mimi nimeambia watu wa kotini wacheni mchezo. Mama gani? Mnataka hao watu watuzuie mambo hii isiende mbele? Hapana, wacha hiyo mchezo. Hii Kenya lazima isonge mbele. Ama namna gani? Ati kuna wengine wameenda kotini kusimamisha housing. Just imagine. Hii housing ambayo tunajenga hapa, nia yetu ni kuwa na vijana 1,000,000 wanafanya kazi. Hapa Laikipia, hapa kwenu, hapa Nyahururu peke yake, hiyo nyumba 3,000 itajengwa hapa, inahitaji vijana zaidi ya 5,000 kufanya hiyo kazi. Nilikuwa Eldoret jana, kesho mimi naenda kule Nyandarua, kesho hiyo ingine mimi niko Nakuru kwa hii mpango ya housing. Ati kuna mtu anataka kusimamisha mpango ya housing, tayari nikiongea na nyinyi vijana 120,000 wanafanya kazi katika programu ya housing Nairobi, sijui kila mahali. Nyinyi mnataka atisimame watu 120,000, mimi nitawapeleka wapi? Wanafanya kazi sahihi. Kazi iendelee. Mnasema iendelee ama mnataka hao wakora wasimamishe? Mnasema iendelee.
How will we grow economically and politically if at all after each and every general election then we begin the conversation of succession politics? When will that time of growing economically come from? However, I see a string of possibility that President William Samoei Ruto may have noticed that his popularity in the Mount Kenya region has consistently kept on deteriorating. And what should he do? It's he to call the leaders and try, and most particularly the MCAs, to whom we all know as a matter of fact, it is the MCAs to whom have a close touch with the ground. By calling them, they shall be able to spread his gospel from one corner of the village to the other. Essentially, President William Samoei Ruto, being a political genius in the field, he calling the Jubilee MCAs from the Mount Kenya region, that will automatically leave the former President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta in a pragmatic situation, because he's put him right at the edge of a cliff in fighting for his own party and have lesser time of he unifying the Mount Kenya region, of which if come 2027 he had a plan of once again supporting the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, then that is already a task he has to accomplish. And from Uhuru's angle, rumor has it that he has been sponsoring UDA allied MPs to endorse Ndindi Nyoro and not DP Rigathi Gachagua for the succession politics, of which that is already a strategy to weaken the ties between the president and his deputy. But that said and done, allow me say this: if a volcano is about to erupt, it becomes next to impossible for anyone to stop it. So if President William Samoei Ruto has not noticed that his popularity has consistently kept on reducing, the only way that he can curb that is by focusing on development and not focusing on meeting the MCAs countrywide. Simply because meeting the MCAs shall only adjust the sails but shall never change the direction of the wind. And as I come to the penultimate part of this video, in case if you're watching me for the very first time, kindly just consider hitting on the subscribe button. If you have been watching my videos and you have not subscribed, kindly just consider hitting on the subscribe button. And more so, if you're watching me from a different platform, either Telegram, TikTok or Facebook, kindly just head on over to YouTube, search for Sultan Sudi. I'll be the first right person to pop up. If matters socio-economic and political matters are your great areas of great concern, kindly do feel free to click on the subscribe button so that each and every time that I upload a new video, it will automatically reflect on a notification panel. And by so doing, you'll simply be supporting my content. Thank you, and may God bless you.